Who's ready to decorate for Valentine's Day? Who am I kidding? I'm sure you guys probably already decorated long ago. I'm a bit behind on my game here, although I did decorate probably a week ago. And then the second half of my video just took some time and it just got done. So either way, I'm so glad you guys are here. Thanks for swinging by here at my Life Under Renovation. And I'm Shanna, if we've never met. Today, you can follow along and just sit and relax and enjoy. If you're already done decorating, you can just enjoy watching me decorate my house. So I kind of take a minimal approach when it comes to Valentine's Day. It's never one that I'm like huge decorator of, but I still enjoy it. Love putting like little just drops of Valentine's Day and hearts and love and color sprinkled here and there. And then also we're going to be doing some really fun DIY, like cute little gifts. And just a side note, these gifts, they're kind of like geared towards like teachers. But they could really be for anyone, and also they could be for anything. So they're not like necessarily Valentine's Day specific. So if you're here just for that, then go ahead and skip about to the middle of the video. And anyways, thanks for being here, guys. Quick tip, if you like to shop for decor on a budget like I do, shop the after Christmas or after holiday clearance sections with other holidays in mind. So this is obviously Christmas decor, but I picked this up at Hobby Lobby for $1.50, and it clearly just screams Valentine's Day. So even though it was considered, Christmas decor. Okay, so I'm thinking this stuff is not going to stay. My daughter's going to be bummed when she comes home and sees that I decided not to use this, but it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't go with our whole look. So I think we're going to go ahead and take that one down. Maybe we can use that to decorate her bedroom for Valentine's Day. I think she'd probably think that was pretty awesome. If you can hear like the tip tapping of paws, that would be this girl. Zooms, turn around here. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hey. Oh, you just want to help, don't you? You're such a good helper. Zumi shows up in pretty much every single one of my videos. If you're new here, she's pretty much here all the time. She's always showing up. Aren't you? You like to be part of everything, don't you? Yes, her name is Zumi, and she's a sweet little corgi pup. Aren't you? She's a good helper. You go look. What's out the window, Zooms? Hey, what's that? What's that? Zumi, go get him. What is that? What is that? Go get him. Zumi, get him. Get him. Who's outside? Who's out there? She stands guard all the time. She's always checking things out. Zumi, did you scare him off? Did you scare him away? Good job. Okay, back to decor. So this is one that I did not use in this year's holiday decorating, but I just wanted to kind of give it a shout out because it was free to me to make and cheap, and I probably made this like 13 or 14 years ago. I don't know if anyone recognizes those newsprints, but that is an old TV guide. So if that doesn't date me, I don't know what does. But it's fun to get this out every year and kind of see what shows were popular back in the day. And yeah, it was simple and easy to make, and so you can make fun things out of like old book pages, anything, and to decorate your home. You don't have to go spend money. So, quick little tip there. This was another item that I believe was clearance from Hobby Lobby or possibly from Michael's years ago. But I just love the contrast between like the minty blue of our front door and the soft pink and then the golds in this. I think it's so adorable and so sweet for Valentine's Day. Okay, the living room is all decorated and I'm excited to show you guys around. So, like I said, I keep things fairly simple for Valentine's Day. It's not something I go totally crazy for, but just some fun little touches and splashes of pink and maybe some hearts. I love this little wooden heart. I think it's so cute and so sweet. And then Zenly let me borrow one of her little birds from her bedroom, so that's perched right there. And then as you move over here onto the other side, I've got my um, TV, like my screensaver art, like I've mentioned before. I'm seriously loving that. I think it's such a fun touch to be able to add to our living room space versus having the TV on all the time. So down there, the part you just saw, I just took a little wooden block and I drew a heart on it and wrote love. And then on the top of this shelf here, this black and white fabric, I actually just put that in an embroidery hoop and so it was very inexpensive, and it's actually for my office. But for this week, I'm using it as decor in our living room. And I kind of love the look. I might have to find another of those and make one of those. That little love sign is from Target. And then on this next shelf here, I just have this little sign. I have this out almost all year round because I just think it's very cute and very sweet. It tends to match our decor, but it just says, and I love you. I don't know. I like the mix of the metal and the wood. And then this little canvas art, this is a DIY project that I made last year before Valentine's Day. So I'll link that video below if it's one you didn't catch. It's one that could also be adapted for pretty much any holiday. And it's just so cute and so sweet. And it's very fun to put together because you can kind of make every little bottle cap with its own kind of cute little design and flair. All right, and then moving down here onto this next shelf, I won't say cute and sweet. How about adorable? We'll pick a new word here, but come on, people, we are talking about Valentine's Day and all. So, anyways, this adorable little wreath of hearts that my daughter made me a couple years ago. It's a fun little treasure that I enjoy taking out each year and putting on a shelf or somewhere. And then I love this little wooden heart that has these wooden slats that run at kind of like an interesting angle. I just think it's kind of a fun piece. So that pretty much sums up our shelf. Time to switch from decorating mode to some DIY crafting mode. Those are two of my biggest passions in life. I absolutely love decorating and I love to do little DIY projects, whether it's a small craft or a larger scale project. But today, I'm going to show you guys how to make some really inexpensive, super simple coasters. So, coasters make great gifts for teachers. So, that's kind of what I'm gearing this particular section towards is like potential teacher gifts. But honestly, they make great gifts for anyone in your life. I figure teachers usually have a desk or a space where they're sitting. And so it's nice to, I know it's kind of a unique gift, not just like another thing that they'll have sitting around or um, I don't know. It's something unique and individual from your child. So um, I used to make these and sell them, so it's something I've done. But I just use Mod Podge, and I prefer the kind that has like the matte finish, but the glossy finish works great too. And then I just use scrapbook papers, so I cut them down to size um, and the tiles. So you can purchase those at like Habitat for Humanity or a secondhand store for super inexpensive price. But even if you had to pay full price, you could buy, a small amount of them from a home improvement store and use them, or you could watch for them at yard sales. So this is not only a cute, unique craft, but one that's also fairly budget friendly. The key to this very first step, where you're just putting the scrapbook paper on the actual tile itself, is to do like the thinnest little layer of Mod Podge on the surface of the tile. So you don't want a bunch of it caked on there. The thinner the better. Basically, just make sure you have the entire tile um, coated in the Mod Podge, and then you're going to lay the paper down on there, and then you just smooth it out as best you can. So from all different angles and all along the sides. That'll avoid you having any kind of like bubbling beneath the paper. So Once you do that, you'll let it completely dry, and then I'll show you the next step here in a second. While we complete the rest of these, I wanted just to mention that these also are great for you can use photos, and I prefer to print those on actual like just regular 8 by 10 printer or 8 by 11, whatever it is, paper out of a printer versus like actual photos. They tend to just like seal up and stick better. But you could also have your child draw a picture with like Sharpie, so it's something permanent. All of those things are great, and then you can seal them in. So they make amazing grandparent, Mother's, Father's Day gifts, all sorts of fun possibilities with this project. How fun are these? I just love all of the possibilities when you are using scrapbook papers in particular. So, when I filmed this, I actually was making these for my coworkers. So, I had a blast just picking these out at the scrapbooking store, craft store, anywhere you can buy scrapbooking papers, where you can find these amazing cute papers. But it was really fun to like look through the papers and pick specific prints out for the people you're making them for. So, you can pick out, if someone has a hobby or maybe they collect cute little teacups. Like you can keep those things in mind when you're shopping and choosing what you're going to use. So I love that you can kind of individualize these and make them unique to the person that is going to be receiving them. So here, this is the next step. You're just going to do the same kind of thing, like the thinnest layer, just like skimmed across the top, basically, so the whole surface gets Mod Podge, and it will look kind of shiny and almost like white at first. It dries clear, I promise. Make sure you don't miss the edges of the coasters so that they get nice and sealed in, because if someone's setting a drink on top, um, you don't want it just to be bubbling up with water. It'll make the paper actually like warp beneath it. So we're going to put a layer of this across the top, let it completely dry. And then I usually do like two or three full good layers over the top of the paper, but making sure you allow time to dry in between each layer. These are all now fully dried. They've each got 3 layers of Mod Podge on them, and now it's time for the final step. So we are going to add the little felt bumpers, sliders to the bottom just to protect the surface that they'll be resting on. So if it's going to be on someone's coffee table or maybe at their desk, you don't want them to be scratching up their surface with a tile. The bottoms of those tiles have a pretty intense texture on the bottom sometimes. And so this just makes them look a little more finished and professional when they're all completed. And yeah, we'll protect the surface that they're sitting on. There they are, all complete and ready to be gifted. And for me, nothing's complete without some sort of a cheesy saying attached. So the next thing I did was add a little tag that said something like, well, I'll show here in a second, but best wishes as you coast into 2024. So these were New Year's gifts to my coworkers, and I'm all about a play on words and cheesy sayings. So I think my coworkers enjoyed these, and hopefully, your child's teacher or whoever in your life you might be gifting them to will enjoy one from you as well. I feel like oftentimes little DIY crafty projects tend to be geared towards ladies or females or more feminine projects, but I just wanted to make it a point here to show that you can make one that's more manly. So, this project is perfect for that, where you can choose which print you're going to use for scrapbooking paper. So, Zenly's actually giving this one to her PE teacher, who's a guy, the one that had the little barnwood print. So it's more of a manly, guyish kind of a gift. So I think he'll enjoy that. But you could also easily pair it with a girly coaster. On to our next little DIY project today. So I love to save little glass jars. One in particular is from a container of pesto that we had. So one, not only are you getting, product in a little jar that you can actually consume or use, but you can use it for something after the fact, something super cute that you can make out of it. So this pesto jar, I started out by just using a light grit sandpaper to kind of get some of that shiny coat finish off the top of this pesto lid. And then we're just going to use this chalk paint. I love this because it has kind of like a gritty finish, more of a matte look, but it tends to stick better, I feel like, to lids. So we do lots of fun little craft projects with lids at our house, like little jars. And so this is one trick I've learned is to just kind of sand it down very gently first. And I feel like the paint tends to adhere better to it. I did a couple coats of the white chalk paint, and now we're moving on to this baby pink color, which I thought was perfect for Valentine's Day. And Zenly wanted me to help. She wanted to help me out with this part, which I love. I always like having my little helper along. So she did a fabulous job of getting this lid all painted, and this is going to be a gift for one of her teachers after all. So I love when you can actually include your kids in a craft, especially when it's a gift that's going to be coming from them. They're just so much more excited to give that gift along, and they like to take more ownership over the project as a whole, which I think is just fabulous. While we let that lid get nice and dry, we're going to fill this jar up with Senley's favorite chocolates. So these ones are perfectly festive because they're in this like metallic-y pink wrapper, but you could easily do this with, Christmassy things with little candy canes or peppermints. So you can really like personalize this to the holiday you're making it for. But the lid dried, it looks fabulous. And then we decided we'd add a little something extra to it. So when we got it done, we're like, need something more. So we had these cute little earrings picked out for one of her teachers, these little triangle earrings. And then we added the little heart detail, and it was kinda nice. We cut the little heart out on there. It covered up the price tag. So it made the whole packaged piece look a little bit more finished and nice, but we added this little banner of heart print paper around the side too, and how sweet does that look? On to our last DIY project for the day. So I love this jar. I have this thing for jars. This one especially is just so cute because when you spin it, it kind of glimmers and shimmers and on the different surfaces. Since it's not like a perfectly round flat bottle or jar. Adorable for tiny little flowers from in the yard. So we save these for everything. But we love this lid because it already had the gold finish. So we just cut out a little piece of scrapbooking paper and put that on there. And then now it's time to fill this jar full of some candy that Zenly picked out. So, oh, she was a good model. She's showing you exactly what she's done so far. Um, anyway, so you fill this jar up with the candies, and then, I mean, you could tie a set of earrings like we did on the last project. You could attach a gift card of some sort, which is what we're doing in this particular project. But I mean, you could even fill the jar with anything. You could fill it with little knickknacks. You could maybe put earrings down in the jar. There's so many endless possibilities. That's why I love jars, and it's a nice way to upcycle something that would otherwise be going, in the recycling and be sent off somewhere. So why not turn something you already have on hand into something beautiful that somebody else will appreciate and that's personalized just for them? All right, there it is, all done. And I just love that you can personalize it. And I cut out the little heart to kind of tie the whole look together. So the top of the lid matches the little heart. You can write a sweet little note on the gift tag, or maybe have your child draw a picture and make something to go along with this. We included a little Starbucks card. But really, there are so many options. And I think her teachers are going to love all of these gifts that we made. I wish you all the best Valentine's Day, and I'm just so thankful that you were here today for this video, and I hope you'll consider subscribing if you haven't yet. I'll see you guys again for the next video. Bye!